Welcome to RayPresents. Today, I'm joined by Jermaine Murray, also known as the Jobfather, founder of JupiterHR. How are you doing, sir?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here with me. I really appreciate it. It's going to be a great conversation. So, tell me, where'd you get the name Jobfather? Where did that come from?
You know what? I actually got it from my best friend, like a brother. So he is somebody that he will mind back. So he's somebody that I've known my whole life since high school, right?
Mhm.
And one of the things that we used to joke around was that Shaq is like my favorite basketball player. And I always try to give myself like these nicknames. Everyone joked that like I had like 100 nicknames and like 99 of them I gave myself. So none of them naturally like stuck, right? Pandemic comes around and this is somebody that's helped me get a job at the company that he used to work at, which is a gym. And that was like taught me my first like real like it really helped me hone my sales skills. If you ever want to hone your sales skills, work in a gym. There's nothing harder than trying to sell somebody on a service that they have to do all the literal hard work to do in order to achieve. So you can sell that, you can sell anything. And he helped me get a job there, and that helped me set me up. But when the pandemic came in Ontario, where we live, we had some of the most strictest lockdowns in the whole entire world. So gyms were like a no go, right? And he got laid off. You know, he was there for almost 10 years, got laid off because the gym couldn't open, and he needed a job. So he, came to me and he asked, he's like, "Yo, can you help me get a job?" I did his resume, I prepped him for his interviews, even wrote a couple cover letters for him, and he got an interview with this really cool ed tech company, right, as a customer success manager. And I remember hearing rumor like the gyms are opening back up, and I was like, "Yo, you gonna take that job?" And he said, "Nah." I see. Are you gonna take that job or go back to the gym? And he said he's taking the job, and I was like, "Sick." And he's like, "Nah, you don't understand. I was on salary and commission, and you got me another salary and commission job, but like what I made with my total comp at my last job is just the base salary here. Plus I get commission." He's like, "Yo, you got me an offer I can't refuse. You're literally the job father." And I was like, "Yo,
Well,
I
that's the
like
one.
that. I like that." And yeah, man, I was like, "Yo, I like that." And I just started, I was like, "Let me call myself the job father and see what happens." And like, it's literally the only nickname I've ever had in my life that stuck. And I was like, this might be like divine providence. And I've been able to grow with it. And yeah, it's been a blessing.
That is awesome. Jermaine, just one thing. It seems like you're facing sideways.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I think there you
The
go.
camera's over here, but the
There you
screen
go.
is over here.
Ah,
So,
it's all
my
good,
bad.
brother.
I'm looking at you. You know what I'm saying? But
I know,
like,
but
yeah,
I was like, okay,
I'm gonna move the screen so when I'm
there you
looking
go.
at you, it's as close as possible. But yeah,
There you go. I love that story, man. I love
thank
that
you.
story. So tell me, obviously you specified in finding jobs specifically for blacks in high tech. Tell me why that is, for people who don't know the story, not familiar with your story.
Yeah, for a couple reasons. Like one, I think that I think that for like a lot of different reasons, social economic, and also just like, you know, and when we talk about systemic racism, a lot of opportunity has been out of the reach of Black people as a collective. We have individuals that are able to like, break through certain barriers and like enact change, but as a collective, a lot of opportunity has been systemically like kept away from us.
Hmm.
Uh, I really needed a job at a time in my life, and like I couldn't find a job, and I couldn't find anyone to give me support to help me find a job to like save something that was going to like prevent like a catastrophe that happened to me in my life that just a decent steady job could have prevented. And it wasn't for a lack of trying, and it wasn't for a lack of trying from both myself and the people I was engaged with, but like nobody could understand the perspective that I had or that I needed. Because like all of among my close family and friends, for the most part, I was the first person to like graduate from university. You know what I'm saying? So like my resources and my access were very limited. So catastrophe happens and like it basically ruined my life. And I was at my lowest point, and then I got a recruitment job, right? And the recruitment job was everything that I needed and more. And I've always been like I've always been a mist. I was like, yo, it's kind of crazy if I had this job 30 days earlier. Someone just told me about recruitment as a concept 30 days earlier. I could have prevented probably like the one of the singles greatest like personal catastrophes of my life. But like I saw the benefit of it, and when I started helping, when I got someone their first job and it changed their life, he told me, you know, he was like, I'm gonna be able to go from like having to live away from my family because I couldn't find any work to being able to work from home and like walking my kid to school and never missing a moment of his life. And like I had this thought in my head, I was like, yo, I love this story, but I just wish this guy was black because it would really resonate with me more because I know about the systemic barriers that are in place, or I know about like, you know, just the microaggressions and like just the way people treat black people in the corporate space. And I said to myself, I'm in a unique opportunity where I can advocate for people and like connect them directly to hiring managers, right? And like allow hiring managers to like see past their bias, right? And just to meet with people. And like that spiraled into like such a really great thing and into like a passion project. And every single black person that won was a win for me personally. And I got my first test in this mission when I had a manager basically pull me aside and say like, yo, you can't be the only black person on our team, and we only get black people from you. And I said, like, you asking the wrong question. You need to be asking, why is it that we only get black people from our only black recruiter? Why we got one black person in this motherfucker? Like, what's really good? And you know, we were going on back and forth, and there was like a moment where like time froze, and I had a thought in my head, right? And like I swear, I felt like time froze, and the thought in my head was like, if you say this, there's no going back. She's gonna take it as a personal affront, and like you are either gonna have to like live with the constant tension that your job is in jeopardy here, right?
Yeah.
Or swallow your pride, go about your business, ignore this, like find a way to placate her, and just live in a safe, free environment, right? Ray, I'm gonna tell you right now, my mouth has gotten me in so much trouble throughout my life, and it would be out of character for me not to speak my mind. Damn the consequences. So I looked her in the eye and I said, you cannot overrepresent for an underrepresented group. It is literally mathematically impossible. And the only reason you feel a type of way about this isn't based in logic. It's because you feel a type of way about it. And I wonder why you feel a type of way about it. I got written up that same evening. Right. But like,
Wow.
yo, I slept soundly that night, man. I slept great. You know, I had the drool coming on and everything. And it's because like I felt like I found some sort of purpose in my life, and that was advocating for people that look like me. And like it felt like I was also helping people regain agency and power over their lives and us as a collective, right? Because some of these tech jobs were like pay stupid crazy as well, right? Like I've talked to people that have gotten tech jobs that's changed the whole trajectory of the lives of their families, right? It's so crazy what a decent job can do for you. It's so crazy what a 6-figure job could do for someone's whole entire bloodline. It's so crazy how the options for housing open up. You know what I'm saying? The security that you get. It's so crazy how people are able to work to live and not live to work. And it's so crazy seeing like this kind of release off of a black person's shoulder, because like a thing that a lot of people don't talk about is the black tax. You know what I'm saying? Where you like you were the first of your family to do something, and like you feel the obligation out of love to support your people, but like that has a rippling effect in terms of how you're able to set yourself up for your own future, right?
Mhm.
It becomes infinitely more manageable when you have more disposable income. Such a simple thing addresses so many complex problems.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Wow. So Jermaine, tell me what you have to say to the one black employee who doesn't have that same liberty, to speak their minds like you chose to do many times, right? What advice would you give to that person? Because as you and I both know, there's so many of them, right?
Yeah. I would say engage in your own silent rebellion. My rebellion against this system is a very vocal and loud one, right? And I understand that a lot of people don't feel comfortable putting themselves in that position or having that kind of spotlight.
Mm.
So I would say stage your own personal rebellion, which means look out for numero uno. If that person, if the people around you don't know the name of your mama, right? They're not important. Be bloodthirsty, right? Be cutthroat, right? Invest in yourself, upskill, right? Constantly be networking and never pass up an opportunity because they tell you that they treat everybody like family. I don't need to tell you. I don't need to tell you that. Like I need to tell you that they don't see you as family, right? You know that, right? Be like Kawhi Leonard. I'm a guy from Toronto, Raptors, right? Be like Kawhi Leonard, right? You play for the name on the front of the jersey, but you're only loyal to the name on the back of the jersey.
Mm. I think a lot of people in Toronto is going to have issues with you with that statement, but that's another conversation.
Nah, we all real with that. That's fine. Ironically enough, the point of contention right now is like, what do we do about DeMar DeRozan?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love the basketball analogies, but no,
Yeah.
this is a serious conversation, and it's great advice that you're giving us. Listen, what do you do in terms of? Do you feel like people need to do more marketing online about themselves? I see your pages on LinkedIn. You're
Yeah.
very successful. What advice would you give to people about social media and finding jobs?
We live in an era where the resume is dying. And what
Mhm.
that means is that because of the proliferation of artificial intelligence and large language model tools, it's getting easier for people to fake it until they make it. And the ripple effect is that, HR and hiring managers have a hard time trusting what you say on paper, right? Um, I don't blame you, the job seeker, for this environment. I blame the bosses of the hiring managers and the recruiters who have created this environment. They're using AI. You're using AI. Everyone's using AI. AI is talking to each other, and no one's getting jobs. It's a crazy paradox, right? Um, when you post online, when you find a way to cultivate your digital footprint so that people can find you, so that people can relate to you, so that people can have conversations with you, right? You enable the cultivation of a reputation, right? You know, the whole phrase like your reputation precedes you. That's a thing, right? And it does, like, if people are able to like know of you, or it's really easy for them to find out about you, it makes you seem that much more trustworthy. If you were doing things in the dark, or if you were doing things that you say that you're doing but you're not doing, it looks away if I can't find any, like if a recruiter or a hiring manager can't find any type of social
There's,
proof about that,
there's no evidence.
right? There's no evidence. But if you say you do something and you got it plastered everywhere, portfolio site, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever platform, right? But like you are showing your thought process, your execution process, your activities, and your outcome, you become so much more than the resume. So, in order to build trust, whether you like it or not, we are in a low trust society when it comes to applications. You have to foster a digital footprint. Do you know what pops up when you Google you? Is it
Hmm.
you?
Wow, that's something else. So tell me about the success that you've had, particularly on LinkedIn. That's how I found you.
Yeah.
And I was, like I told you earlier, I've blown away by the authenticity. It's refreshing to see what you're doing online. Tell the people how many people you've helped since you started, actually.
So, since 2019, I've been keeping track of every Black person I've helped get a job in tech.
Mhm.
In 2021, I did like a public declaration challenge in the spirit of tech's theme of building in public. I did a declaration challenge to myself where I was going to do everything possible to help 100 Black people in one single year get jobs in tech. In 2021, by December 31st, I had helped 126 Black people get jobs in tech. And every single success story I shared along the way so people could see the proof. People could be like, shit, that's me right there. Right. And those are the only people, that number is only the people that have told me. Right. There are a bunch of people that have used my resources and whatnot that have gotten jobs and they haven't told me. So I haven't counted. So it could clearly be beyond that. But once I hit that goal, I added up all the people I had helped since 2019, and I was like, I want a nice round clean number, right? So I chose 500, right? And I'm not gonna lie, between like ever since like the war in the Ukraine kicked off, plus everything after that has happened afterwards, it's been harder and harder to help people get jobs. But that just means though the wins might not come as frequently, but they're heavier and they feel well earned, right? So to date, as of this recording, we have helped 469 Black people get new jobs in tech. I would feel so much better if I could hit 500 by the end of this year. I won't beat myself up if I can't, but that is the goal, and I'm super proud of that number.
Congratulations. Speaking
Thank
about
you.
wins, hey, it's phenomenal work that you're doing. Speaking about wins, can you tell me one of the craziest win that you heard? You gave an example earlier about, changing someone's lives and, being generational change. Tell me about the craziest story that you can share with me.
Two of them. So I'll share two. The first was real quick. I initially got into tech because I wanted to get into the gaming space,
Hmm.
right? Because I wanted to work a job that I had fun doing,
Yeah.
right, and didn't just drain me of my battery because I hated my environment.
Hmm.
And to make matters worse, didn't just drain me, but also like didn't even give me enough money to have fun to replenish myself. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I got into tech because I wanted to work at PlayStation because I also wanted a free PlayStation. So I was looking for opportunities to get myself a job at PlayStation. I reverse engineered the job descriptions I found for a technical recruiter that what PlayStation needed, and that was how I got into like agency recruiting. So fast forward, I start my own business. I don't end up working at PlayStation. I had to get a PlayStation 5 the old fashioned way. But like I helped somebody get a job at PlayStation Studios in Japan, a Black person, which was crazy, right? I remember we were like we had like a catch up call and we're FaceTiming, and like he ordered Uber Eats, and when he picked up the Uber Eats, he was speaking in fluent Japanese. I was like, yo, this is
This is wild.
like I'm like, bro's like living my dream. What the hell, man? And I'm just like, you just go flex like that, and we were dying, man. It was hilarious, right? And then when I moved to Spain for a couple of years, I was living abroad,
Hmm.
and we actually ended up meeting in person in Spain, and we had some of the worst calamari of our lives, but it was just cool being able to meet up with somebody that I only knew over social media that I still managed to help. Right. The second one was that I posted a meme on LinkedIn
Hmm.
about Usher. Right. It was when Usher did his NPR thing and he was doing the watch this type of meme, right?
Hmm.
So I made a meme saying like hiring managers can't find Black people, me a Black recruiter, watch this, and like it went viral. I had a hiring manager reach out and he wanted to engage in our recruitment services for somebody. He was paid. It was a marketing director role that paid $120,000 US, but they were open to hiring people in Canada. So I actually managed to get a Canadian the job, and so in Toronto specifically, where I'm from, we have probably like the worst housing bubble um, in North America, at least like top three, right? when you look at like how costs have skyrocketed, and you also look at like what the average wages are, like it's a horrible scenario. Um, so like that $120,000 US, when you convert it to Canadian, it was damn near $200,000, right? She was able to buy a house off of that. She written off owning property because of just how like messed up our market here is in Toronto. And that like not only like helped her qualify for like a really good loan, it also enabled her like within like a couple of months of saving up enough of a down payment where like even with interest rates spiking, she'd be good. And that's crazy to me, man.
That's beautiful. Can you tell me something, with all the success that you had with your agency, Jupiter HR, what's something that success taught you that no one warned you about?
That success is like water. It's temporary. It's the moment of peak in between valleys of failure, right? It's never non-linear. The only thing that success promises you is blood, sweat, and tears, but it's never guaranteed. But like, success is also defined by you as well, right? Success, if you limit your definition of success to just monetary, you will be miserable very fast, and you will actually limit your potential. Right? As crazy as it sounds, the more that you care about something, more of a problem that you care about, the more obsessed you become about it, more psychotic you become about it, the more passionate you become about it, the more you're willing to push yourself to certain limits, not just physical. And you should always have rest in order to have better ideas, but like you learn a lot about yourself. It's the same thing I would say about like, if you have the opportunity to move to a whole new city that you've never been to before, you have to take that opportunity, because you don't know who you are until you are in some sort of isolation event where you have to adapt and you have to learn. And you learn what your gaps are, you learn what your weaknesses are, you learn how to create systems to compensate for that, or you just become self-aware enough to realize I need to surround myself by the right people in order to really get things moving.
I love that. Jermaine, can you tell people where they can find you and how they can reach you?
If you Google the Jobfather, I'm the first one that pops up.
That's awesome. I love
Google
that.
me. That's funny.
Google, do your Googles.
Yeah, you can follow me on LinkedIn at Jermaine L. Murray. You can follow me on Twitter as the Jobfather with 2 underscores, and you can follow me on TikTok at the Jobfather. I have my trademark in Canada and the UK, and I'm in the process of getting it in the US. So I promise you, if you see Jobfather and it's not me, it will be handled and dealt with in due time.
Love it. Love the energy, my brother. Listen, thank you for all the work that you're doing for the community and beyond. It's much needed, and I'm sure the 400 people you have right now are very, very happy that you helped them out, and hope that you reach that 500 real quick, and maybe 1,000, 2,000. Why not?
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate you sharing your platform with me and just letting me have a chance to tell my story. Thank you very much, brother. I hope you have a tremendous rest of your day and a glorious year. And I hope whatever success that you are pursuing is a lot closer than you expect.